I have a conundrum. Going through this car and looking at everything in here, turn the light on. There was this red wire right here that was hanging down under the dash. And it's something somebody else put in here. I don't know why. But all of this mess right here, was all tucked up under here and I didn't see it. I thought it was just a red wire that went from this orange connector right here. They had cut this for some reason. And the other end of this wire, I measured it with the ohm meter, is right here. I'm guessing that this was one of these, and these others go here and over to that side. Now, I don't know if you can see those two orange wires right there with that red wire attached to it? That's what had happened over here. I ordered some orange wire, 16, or not 16 gauge, it's 14 gauge, silicone jacketed, really nice wire. My plan was to replace this red wire, which went back and forth. When I pulled this thing down last night and saw all of this, I started getting a little bit concerned because there's 1, 2, 3, 4 orange wires right there. There's 2 orange wires right here. They're all shorted together to this red wire right here. And somewhere along the way, somebody thought it'd be a real good idea, and this is hot all the time. I've got the battery disconnected, so this is not doing anything. They had this red wire right here run through the console, up into this, and into this connector right here, which is that orange wire right there. They had cut the orange wire that went in this bundle and went up here somewhere. I guess it comes out in one of those. And they ran this red wire into that connector. And what that red wire does is supply voltage to this control here for the seat, lumbar, and bolster, and all that happy stuff. I took all of that crap loose and I patched into that orange wire that's right there and ran it down this bundle and underneath and attached it to this orange and black wire. This orange and black wire right here is what feeds power to the seats. And all of that is controlled by this fuse right here, fuse number 2. I know that because when I cut this and I was dangling around with it, I accidentally shorted it against something metal and it popped that fuse. Now, I looked in the service manual at what all this fuse right here controls, and it has to do with the courtesy lights, and I think the mirrors, and all kinds of stuff. And buddy, if you look, there's freaking orange wires running all over this car. And looking in the service manual at the wiring diagram, yeah, it shows orange wires running all over this car. So my dilemma is, do I try to undo all of this stuff? Let's see if I can get that thing popped down. This is that orange wire, and it goes in here, and it goes to this light, and It goes to this switch right here, and there's another light inside here. I don't know what that light's for. But I thought that I might try to just reconnect all of these orange wires that go everywhere and see if I can figure out what the original wiring harness was. But here's my dilemma. Everything works the way it's wired up right now, even with this red wire and all this mess right here. This is all covered up with tape. But the way it's wired up right now, everything works like it's supposed to. So at some point in time, there was a problem somewhere, and this was somebody's solution to it. Now, I bought this car new in 1988, and it was, I don't know, within 2 years, the dash started coming down away from the firewall. We sent it back to the dealership, and they repaired all that. And they kept the car for a couple of months doing all that. I suspect that that's when all of this was done. Once they put the dash back in, they were having trouble getting all these things to work. And this was their solution. And they just tucked it up in there thinking, oh, he'll never find it. Well, this is only 35 years later, and I found it. So, what do you think? See, this is the orange wire that I put in here. I didn't know that all of this crap was up there. And all of this is connected to this fuse through this wire right here. You can see that wire right there. And it goes up and attaches to the back of this fuse. Let's see, where is that wire? You can see that fuse number 2 there moving around. That's where this red wire goes. And that's connected to all this stuff. So I'm thinking, I'm pulling this fuse box out, taking that red wire out, running an orange lead through there, and putting it all at least back to the right color. Or just taping all this crap back up and tucking it back up under there and just letting it go. But I've come this far, I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to pull that fuse block out and redo that. So my conundrum is trying to figure out where all of this stuff goes. Now, these wires right here look like they've been burnt. I don't know if something shorted out and burnt the wires, or if that was done when they soldered all this stuff together. I'm guessing it probably was done when they soldered all that back together. But I would take all of these orange wires, attach them together, and connect them to one lead that goes up to the fuse. Jump this guy to it, just like this right here's been done, and run it back over there into that door and pull it through and attach to those 2 wires. Now, you can see those other 2 orange wires hanging down over there. That's where those 2 wires were cut from. So they must have come through that joint all the way through the dash and back over to here. And I was thinking about going ahead and cutting all these, numbering them, taking a picture so I know where they all went, and then cutting them. I'm going to see if I can find where they come out in each of the doors. But I don't know. What would you guys do? This right here, I mean, I'm no electronic technician. I'd be embarrassed as hell if somebody caught me doing something like that. What do you think?